Hey, hi, howdy, hello. I hope everybody's doing okay today. Hey, Ghosty. Hey, dear. Hey, Lady Red. Long time no see. You sexy devil. And back off, Pack. That's my woman. I will fight you. Um, hey, Dilford. I am feisty. I'm always feisty.
Yo,
Yo.
what's up, party people?
That's my Lady Red. I will fight you over Lady Red.
Whoa, 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 Kimo Sabe.
Winky, winky face. Lady Red just doesn't know it yet, but that's my woman.
I too am part of this plan to overthrow the government.
Hey, back. Lady Red's like, what the fuck? I come in here and Panda's
I know
like,
nothing of this plan,
Panda's
and I'm not going to claim to.
trying to shoot her shot. What can I say? I like me a redhead. She cute though.
She is cute. That's why I keep saying that I will invite her to the harem.
You know, what's the matter, Red? We just we just want to add you into our harem. That's all.
Come
You
on,
know,
Lady
no
Red.
biggie.
Join the weird swinger couple.
Trio. Well, I don't know. Warhammer might want in on this too.
I mean, you have said on multiple occasions that you think Warhammer's handsome, so I guess.
Oh, speaking of Warhammer, he checked on me yesterday.
Oh?
Yeah, you know what he told me to tell them?
What's that?
I can't remember how he phrased it. Let me look. It was cute. He said, tell them to shut up and stick it.
That sounds like Warhammer.
So straight to the point.
basically, he compared Moon to Queen of Karma. Only he thinks she's worse.
I mean,
That's pretty bad when somebody, one, thinks you're a bigger degenerate than Queen of Karma, and two, even puts you on the same fucking sheet as them. That's pretty bad. We are taking over the world, but like, we're taking over the world with our harem.
well, I mean, it's kind of funny because Nicolo was playing Security Breach last night on his channel, and I can't remember what it was, but I made a comment about Moon, and he's like, "Oh, you mean Miss Down's face?" So yes, again, everyone, this is not like something Panda came up with. This has been a thing for a minute now.
Exactly. She acts like I coined the phrase. I didn't coin Down syndrome bear. Okay? I didn't do that. I just laughed at it and agree with it. Because she does look like Down's a bear. But, like, and she wants to talk about anybody else's looks. Honey, have you looked in the mirror lately? Like within the last, I don't know, however long you've been alive.
So
I'm
stop me
fairly
if you
certain you've always been like
stop me if you've heard this one. Moon walked into a bar, and the bartender's like, "Hey, Moon, why the long face?"
that. We're going to hell. But I don't care. so Lady Red, when you gonna quit fighting our love and just give in to me? It's silent to me. What's silent to you? My audio is up. So I am going to pull up a series of fuck shit.
Light up
my.
the
And I
lucky.
will
It's light up time.
Yep.
be right back.
Oh, may I just take a moment to give a shout out to my boy Sigrat? He gave me 3 games on GOG.
Ooh.
One of them is
So,
called Juarez.
I think I've heard of that one.
It's like pre Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. I think that's. I don't remember where I heard it from, but yeah, that's what it sounded like. Uh,
Uh-oh, we have a video titled Proof of Rugs.
Proof of rugs. God
Proof
damn.
of rugs. Oh my god, we're gonna prove so many rugs.
Mm-hmm.
Row.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Lady Red. It does have a fat man in the outhouse. Speaking of which, who is excited for the new Lollipop Chainsaw?
I mean,
Aye.
I'm surprised they're bringing something out for it.
I'm kind of surprised to see a remake of one of Suda51's games. Normally that doesn't happen. I've been waiting forever for Shadow of the Dam to be released on Steam.
Yeah.
Mouth is always the giveaway.
It's true.
Hey Bella, we have a video titled Proof of Rugs. I wonder what's gonna be proven in this video. 'Tis a mystery.
Come on down to John Goblicon's Rug Warehouse.
Did they really, Red? Hmm. Did she really? She better shut her mouth, Bella. I will F her up.
And
That-
Lisa's out.
Oh.
That is tasty cancer.
Lisa, you look like you're on Kensington.
Kensington is a ghetto place. That's where karma comes from.
Already said that. He's troll account. I have a stove, oven, all that. Yep.
Aye. Look at her.
You know you ugly when a filter makes you look worse. Just say it.
Mouth
Hey,
is
the
always
filter's
the
trying.
giveaway.
It's doing its best.
And Lisa's out. Lisa, you look like you're on Kensington.
Wow, she just straight nodded the fuck out right there.
What the fuck?
Well, again,
Wow.
Kensington, pretty ghetto place. Ask our good friend Queen.
Like she literally just went the fuck out right there. But yet, oh, she's totally sober, guys. Totally sober.
She's sober, not fucked up, not never.
Bella, do you want to come up here?
Thank
Here you go, Bella. Oh shit. God damn it. Stop it. Okay.
I
Hey.
will need bond money. I got invited to Lisa's house this morning. And then I'm gonna need you to go into whatever one she was on and unblock my Bella account.
Let me look.
She went off on me this morning. Did you not hear?
I think this is it. Just catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fit. Don't worry, I
I
got you.
think it was like towards the end, like not all the way, like in the middle or so. I don't know. I was being nice too.
Did you just see her nod the fuck out though, Bella?
Yes, I did a lot. What were
that
you
was fucking wild.
But no, she totally doesn't have a problem. No way. Not her.
Gilbert was there. He heard it.
Thank you, Isaac. I see you. I see you. I see you on. Thank you, Conscience.
Behold the majestic five
The
head.
crowd, dude. I woke up at 4 a.m. The crowd when I got on at 4:30. Terrible, nasty. Terrible, nasty.
I was not nasty at 4 a.m. this morning. I was pretty polite. I made it to at least 2 of her lives without getting blocked.
Hat and mustache. I'm connected. Yeah, yours. Well, wait. The V. My V.
I do. I'm gonna need bond money.
Next time around, my V. I can't. No. Once they do that, I can't get in them. I am. That should be good. No. Do I really? Because I don't. I really don't.
Oh, did you see the article I sent to you, Trash
Either
Panda?
Vibes 365 or Lisa RXO. Or Adidas is the Venmo. I'm not aggravated and hungry. I can get up to like 4.
Hungry.
It's like 4.
Crack.
What do you mean again? I may be getting a cold. I got this a stash of what, money? I could do that if I had more, but I
Hey,
can't
Trash Panda.
ever do that because
Yeah.
Did you see that article I sent you? Mr. House is apparently going to show up in season 2 of Fallout. Let's go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She needs to get to the good part so I can go to bed.
Wait a minute, what?
Mr. House, he's gonna be in season 2 of Fallout.
Oh hell.
Oh,
Never got shit. Chime is help Lisa XO. HELPLISAXO. Yeah, bring it right there. You have a stash of money? That's cool. Ma'am, we saw. Ma'am, we saw. Congratulations. One, two, buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Stop eating. On what, Miss Morley? Venmo? Coming back in? Thank you, Tamara. Okay. Okay, Magic Mama. Check CAs. I don't know what one. If you can, please. Yeah, I'm asleep. Yep, sleeping away. I have not been. For breakfast. Breakfast. For champions. Maybe. Saw you come back.
I don't know if this. She's. Hang on. Let's see if it gets less boring here in a second.
E365. I'm ignoring all them comments. I'm down to 13. I'm down to needing 13. That's okay, Marissa. That's okay. So 13. 18 minus 5. 18 minus 5. Yes, it's bun. Yes, bun. 18. 13. 13 is what I need. I needed 18. I got 5. So, yeah, it's 13. I misspoke. I'm sorry. Oh, I would take it. But they don't send it. I promise you they don't. You do?
It's almost
You do,
like you're a
JJ. No, we
scammer,
don't do
Lisa.
that out here. Sorry. Find another page for that. Man,
Oh, Panda, it gets good.
if you
It gets
think
good.
that, then you are hallucinating. Oh, is that funny? She thinks it's funny. You need help, lol. Oh, that's funny? I need help for food and that's funny? All right, ma'am. You're a psychopath. Real shit. Okay, one. It's old at one. For breakfast. Megan 2 helps. Anything helps to get closer. No, Jennifer, I'm not. It actually brings. Never mind. No, I'm not. No, Miss Stacy. Abby's here too. Thank you. Oh wow, 7 o'clock. $1. Oh wow. It's okay. I understand. CA is pinned. The CAs are pinned. Lisa RXO and Vibes 365 with a Z. The Adidas 9220 is Venmo. There we go. So the top line is both CAs, and the bottom Adidas 9220 is Venmo. No, hey user mom, I bet they ain't.
Such a horrible woman.
I already jumped on her, y'all. I jumped on her. You shut up, bitch. Fuck you think you're
You
telling me
shut
shut up on
up,
my page.
bitch. Who do you think you're talking to? What the hell's wrong with you?
Get all of them out. Yeah, wow.
You
Wow,
need
you
to
haven't
become a
heard nothing
mother.
yet. You haven't heard nothing yet.
Well, what are you gonna do? Gonna yell at us? Gonna yell at us?
Just can't help but be quiet. They just can't help but sit back and be quiet and watch. They just cannot help it. Cannot help it. And that's why they keep getting blocked. But that's okay. I love
Block
it.
them all.
I love it. It pushes my live. Because guess what? Yins all help me out, even when I'm blocking you. So keep talking shit. Come on. We like it. Not really, Lori. Not really. Look at Lori. Lori wants to fight. Hey, Lori, why don't you meet me outside, huh? Lori, come on outside. Lori, come on. No, come on. Come on. Get this Nikki bitch, ugly ass face all on the camera. Get the fuck out, girl. Come on outside. Where'd she go? Oh,
She's getting ready
that's
for
what I
battle.
thought.
She
Pig.
comes to me next. Listen.
Who the fuck is she calling pig?
Listen. You got listen. Just listen. She comes to me next.
That's what I
Is she
thought.
starting like her own crackhead fight club?
Lori ain't doing
What the fuck?
nothing. Lori ain't doing
Hey,
nothing. Lori
I
ain't
would
doing
definitely pay
nothing.
for a ringside ticket to Crackhead Fight Club.
Lori ain't doing nothing. Lori ain't doing nothing. She's not. Period. I just said, come outside. What do you mean behind the screen? Yep.
I've said it
That's what
once, I'll
yours will
say it
look like when I'm
again.
done
God,
with
you're an
you.
ugly crackhead, Lisa.
Danielle Bergoli, yep. Catch me outside, how about that? Catch me outside, how about that? Some girl that was talking crap in the chat. Look at these. You don't know what I can do and can't do.
And walk away from your computer. 'Cause I
Bella,
don't
come
want you
on.
eating it.
Come on, you all sit there and say that shit. My address is out there. Come
You
on,
hear?
yo. Come on. None of yous
Rewind it.
come. 2 years. Stop it.
Bitch, let me tell you something. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to, but you need to keep Bella's name the fuck out your mouth if you're gonna talk to her like that. How about that? Mimi outside, how about that? Mimi outside, how about that? Have you ever had an original thought in your fucking empty head?
She don't know me right good because you know
Using
I will rent a
everybody
car and
else's
go.
shit.
And I told her today in my life, I'm the one that will rent a car and drive there.
Bella is the one who knocks.
And it's Miss Bella to you, Lisa, ma'am, not Bella.
Mr. Bella's gonna need that bail money.
Get it? Yep. Rewind it again, Panda. Listen, you're a smart ass, man.
Outside,
She will
how about that? Catch me outside, how about
he
that?
will put you through a glass
Bitch,
table, Lisa.
bitch, you are weak. Lisa, you can't even stand up to your own daughter. All your kids run the fuck over you.
Kathy, baby,
Everybody
you're good.
runs
My
the
chat
fuck
can
over
wild
you.
out. You're good. You didn't say nothing. You're good, sweetheart. Don't worry.
Bitch, you couldn't fight your way out of a paper sack. Okay? You need to be careful about, catch me outside. How about that? You ain't bad. You come on here and fucking ugly cry every other day like a little bitch. So, till you stop crying on the internet like a little punk ass bitch, you might want to cool it with a catch me outside. How about that bullshit? How about that? Because for one, you're stealing shit off of everyone else, thinking you miss thing, but you aren't. You ain't shit. You ain't never been shit, ain't gonna be shit, will never be shit. Because you care for nothing and no one but yourself. And you can't even really even do that. So you're a failure at everything. So how about
Lisa
you tone
Richard,
down your fucking attitude?
you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I don't think she could be more obnoxious. Like, catch me outside, how about that? That hasn't been a thing since like 2012.
There is one way. She could learn to drive and drive a Tesla.
I don't know. I don't think she could get more annoying. I just don't think it's possible.
Crackhead bump
Some
fights is starting to
girl that
sound
was
like a
talking
great
crap in
idea.
the chat. Look at these. You don't know what I can do and can't do. Bella, come on. Come on. You all sit there and say that shit. My address is out there. Come on, yo. Come on. None of yins come. 2 years. Stop it. Stop it. We don't do this. We don't talk shit unless we're backing it up. Period. No. Who said that? I ain't gonna take my Cash App down because it's this fucking bitch. I'm going outside and getting her ass right now.
Whoa, 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 whoa. She just down a scrap today. She just, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, whoa.
Well,
Like, ready to throw
we're feeling a
hands,
little bit better with
Lisa?
some rest.
God damn it. Scroll. Oh, this is funny. But I'll wait until I don't know how Bella would feel about playing that one. It's funny as shit though. Okay, palate cleanser time.
Is doing this is important in reference to politicians in their campaigns and their abuses. In reference to when politicians campaign on a factory property or a corporate property, or they're running for office, it's illegal for them to try to steal companies. It's illegal for them to create propaganda on a company property. Now, how many of these former presidents or governors and mayors ever campaigned on any of my mother or father or grandparents' property at any time? And the Supreme Court knows it's illegal for politicians or government people to try to steal my mother and father's estates. And if there's any history of politicians calling my mother and asking her for donations to their campaign, that was illegal because the government was already in debt where they owed my father money. So it was illegal for them to ever ask for campaign contributions from my mother or my father's companies. And it's illegal for them to ever ask me for any financial support of their American campaign or any campaign, of government. And when my father had court cases against the government and my mom had court cases against the government, the Treasury and the Supreme Court was obligated to protect my father and mother and me from any political scrutinizing, any political abuses, any political setups or endangerments. And that is a fact of law. When somebody has to go against a politician or a branch of government in court, the courts are obligated to protect people, because politicians are very, very powerful, and some of them are very evil and abusive, some people would say. So you know that dictators or criminals in politics that have tried to manipulate or tried to abuse or tried to slander business owners or celebrities or entertainers, because government people are so dangerous and powerful that the courts are obligated by law 100% to protect people if they have to go against government agencies in court. And you know, my parents got murdered. The Supreme Court needs the whole politicians and any of the present time politicians that are. Remember that. Those are facts of law that the Treasury and the Supreme Court and other places was supposed to protect me from government trying to steal my mother and father's estates, or because my parents gave me everything when they were alive. And the Treasury, the Supreme Court, Congress, and some other offices was to give straight, and politicians of the Senate, politicians in my
by the
life,
way, I am
they were
Sadlot Man. I'm
uppers
sorry.
or government if they had a mother, they ever or they.
Oops. You don't have to private your stream, but all you have to do is go into your edit, go into your live stream, say manage videos, and click the little side bubbles and push edit. And then where it says public, click that, and then you can scroll down and click select private. Goddamn government man. Scorpio. And welcome in, everybody. Sorry, I've been preoccupied doing something in the background. My bad. Very intriguing. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, it's fine, Bella. You don't have to private it. If somebody doesn't like it, they can go fuck themselves.
To pay. They were supposed to be ordered into court. And they'd have to explain time and dates for why they didn't pay the lawsuits. And if they refused, which of course the Treasury was supposed to have printed the lawsuits, because my parents was very wealthy individuals. And they knew that these politicians couldn't pay the lawsuits of their violations back when my father was alive, and the violations of when my mother was alive, because the lawsuits always started in the billions or multi-billions, in reference to endangerment plus. That the Supreme Court was obligated by all the laws. That's B period, Y period. The Supreme Court and the Treasury was responsible to protect my father and mother and me from thieves, mutilators, abuses, con artists, or any tricks politicians would have tried to play, or any government frontmen that tried to make up accusations. See, some of these people like to make up accusations for their popularity, where very powerful people, and then they try to order people in the court, and then they refuse to pay wealthy people for having to go into court because of the injustice of their agents or their tricks of their agents trying to steal genetics or trying to steal monies or properties from business owners and corporations. See, a lot of dirty politicians try to frame wealthy people and then claim that they didn't have a right being wealthy because they're politicians. And some people get into politics because they failed in business. And then they wanted to attack corporations of people that owned products and owned manufacturing of products. So they were trying to murder off business people or business owners as their trick of accusating against business people or accusating against corporation owners. And it's illegal. And the satellite man's burning my tailbone and they're choking me. Hitting me in the throat. And burning my right hand side foot ankle. And it's one of those things where the Treasury, the Supreme Court was to use,
Burning his
they were supposed to
tailbone.
use
Yo,
swift, strong
that's wild.
laws against any politician, any government branch that was here. And those laws are for
What is his what is with his hair?
I don't know, but the fact that they're burning his tailbone. So I guess they're going for tailbones now.
But this guy kills me, man. Like, I don't know.
And
Like, I
burning
have
his
to mute
ankle.
myself when I watch him because, like, he burnt his ankles. Oh, government abuses and government tricks. And, like, we gotta watch this one.
And negotiators. How many people have spoke to these satellite controllers, and how many people have negotiated with them in reference to their satellite crimes or abuses or them spying on me? See, satellites like electric fences. I don't think you understand what, a lot of people don't understand what that is, but it's kind of like, they put like a heat source. It's kind of like one of those things where if they like cage a person with a satellite. You don't understand. They do a lot of other dirty things with satellites, these government people. But in reference to Treasury and the Supreme Court and the courts, did they try to negotiate with these people to stop them from burning me? And there is no negotiations in reference to my mother and father's estates. I'm the owner. I'm the only child of my parents. It's backed up by 100% hermaphrodite bloodlines of my parents. And anybody arguing that, it's just automatic arrest, whoever they are, no matter what. People can't buy into the companies of the parent company. I mean, like, there's possibly things on Wall Street, but the parent companies are never for sale, not never. And Ballet Pizza is not ever for sale either. But these people are blocking me from, selling pizzas. These people have blocked me from receiving monies from my trust funds, which they're blocking me from opening up Ballet Pizza locations. And these people are costing me millions and billions of dollars. Is everybody aware of that? Alexa, let's see what temperature was. But anyways, the point of this situation, law enforcement has not even delivered monies to me in this hostage situation. They've not delivered anything to the mailbox, knowing that these people have tampered with jobs. These people have tampered with everything. These people have tried to call jobs and made up crap. Like these people, like say for instance, if I worked in the kitchen of a restaurant, these people would call somewhere and say, "Oh, he was a bad waiter today at the job, and we had a bad experience." And I'm not even a waiter at that job. These people.
Oh shit, that's right. That's what we were supposed to do. Sorry. We're gonna cover some Gale real quick.
Wow.
That when a lot of swelling. In fact, I still am dealing with the yeast infection. I ended up getting thrush in my mouth and getting basically a systemic yeast infection. The dentist wrote a prescription for a 10-day course of antibiotics. Okay, that is really rough on somebody who has a history of a systemic yeast infection. Back in like 2010, I've had problems with yeast most of my life, and most of my life was the
Ew.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, it'd be like that.
What is with her eyes, dude?
She got them
Ew,
crazy
homely
eyes.
cottage. Woman,
She got them crazy eyes.
she just looks psycho. Like, it's pretty much curdled cottage cheese.
I'm just saying, a Tony Gale crossover would be the dimensional
Can
merge.
you imagine that going down on you?
Ugh.
What? You don't want a $5 blowy, Dilford? From Gale?
No. No.
But she's a god.
I don't give a fuck.
Kathy's like, ooh, panda. I'm naughty. I know. She
Absolutely
leaves
fucking not.
chunks. Ew.
Jesuit super yeast, which Jesus claimed I was.
What the
Jesuit
fuck?
super yeast. What
Yep.
the fuck is that cheese? What the hell? What the fuck fuck is a Jesuit super yeast? This is a super yeet. Lady's like, what the fuck did I
It's a
come back
super
to?
yeast.
And Kathy has said, I swear you're like my hero. I love you too, Kathy.
It's a super yeast developed by the Jesuits.
Cured in, I think it was 2021, as a result of being on Seroquel and I think some divine intervention as well. Apparently, my body has developed an allergy to the Candida yeast toxin. Okay,
Could you stop, ma'am? Take your yeasty ass somewhere
Trash
else.
Panda's over here
to the
like, just be
doctor.
normal.
Some kind of antibiotic. Just no, ma'am. Just stop shoving things up there that don't belong, okay? And then you won't get yeast infections. Stop double fisting your kitty cat with bread loaves. I don't know what the fuck you're doing to your kitty cat, but something ain't right there. Whatever you're doing to your cat, stop it. It's obviously a problem. Okay? You should not have a whole ass cheese
Are
factory.
you not familiar with the Gale porno?
I don't know why she has to say yeast so many times.
She stuck a dildo to her head. It was pretty interesting. Hey, listen. It's not Gale's fault. It's
Oh, I know what it is. It's gay force yeast. Gale force yeast. Instead of Gale force winds, it's Gale force yeast.
I was about to say, hey, it's not her fault.
No.
It's the Jesuit order for getting between her and her true love, Brent Spiner.
No, Shelly. No. You send me. No. Shelly, don't you dare. No super yeast. No. Monistat would not help her. I don't think that there's a medication on the face of this earth, except for maybe nuclear powered ones, that would help cure her of her yeast problem. It would take a freaking radioactive thing shoved up there to kill off all that yeast.
So if I go on antibiotics, okay, and I get a yeast infection, even if for most people it would be more of a minor matter, they could just get on some, like Monistat or whatever to deal with the aftermath, or maybe get some diarrhea at the end of their antibiotic treatment. But for me, with an allergy to yeast toxin, I get a lot of inflammation. So what was happening was I was getting I'm still dealing with a lot of swelling. This is where this side was where the tooth was pulled. And it has been rough. And the last day of treatment, man, I felt like I was doing chemotherapy just to keep taking those antibiotics. It was just, I almost thought of quitting after the 8th dose. That I can't do this. Yeah, I'm getting so sick with the yeast. Right now, I've got a yeast infection. By the time I think I'm coughing because of yeast, I've got thrush in my throat. Okay, it's in my throat and in my tongue. I sent an email to my dentist about 5 days ago and said I need to be on a yeast medication. I'm getting thrush in my mouth, and I'm starting to feel itchy down in my vagina.
Ma'am, what the are
God
you doing to your
damn.
cat?
I don't know
Are you
what she's doing,
are
but
you
none of it's good.
your own
Hey,
feed,
listen,
ma'am?
listen. Brent Spiner is
Is
a
that what's
dirty, dirty
happening? Are
man,
you
apparently.
eating your own? Never try your own supply, ma'am. Okay? You're not supposed to eat that. Go to the doctor. You got an entire ass fucking yeast factory in your vajayjay.
Hey, listen, Panda. It's just not. It's not just the Candida virus, but she also has the Jesuits plotting against her. There's a lot going on.
Oh, good night. Oh my God, Shelly. If you're itchy and you know it, scratch your minge. If you're itchy and you know it, scratch your minge. If the yeast is really growing, then you'll surely know it. If you're itchy and you know it, scratch your minge.
Shelly, I'm very proud of you. Get in the corner, but I'm proud of you.
Let's sing another round. If you're itchy and you know it, scratch your minge. If you're itchy and you know it, scratch your minge. If you're itchy and you know it, then you're used to surely show it. If you're itchy and you know it, scratch your minge. Scratchy scratch. We've got to take this show on the road. Shelly. Hey, Shelly, you did this. Okay, just so we're clear. This is Shelly's fault.
Well, again,
That,
this stuff.
that coughing is yeast, okay? So,
This
Everything apparently is yeast.
this stuff isn't even prime Gale. You haven't heard about the new cocky or Judge Terrence Jenkins.
Oh dear Lord.
they put me on Deflucan. Oh, but it didn't matter. Just doing a 10-day course of antibiotics has been really, really rough on me. All I can say is, yeah, the yeast infection now has gone systemic. My bowels felt like they were on fire. I was getting heartburny symptoms. My esophagus was having spasms. I would say about the 9th or 10th.
Itchy kitty. Oh, so shitty. When I'm itching on the kitty, it's so red and puffy down there. I just miss my Vadu plus care.
Panda, do I have to get the ropes out?
Maybe.
Okay then.
I'm being Have. It's not my fault. I'm being encouraged. I get a pass this time.
Day on the antibiotics, I was getting esophageal spasms that were so severe. I thought maybe it was my trachea. I thought maybe I was getting asthma. So I was freaking out. I was thinking, oh no, maybe I can't breathe. And I said, no, I can't be allergic to the amoxicillin. This is like the 8th or 9th day. This has to be yeast or something. And finally, the only way I could take the 10th day, I was getting such bad dizziness too. I mean, really dizzy, almost like vertigo. And I thought I was seeing black spots before my eyes. People do not realize it, but when you get a systemic, and yeah, the infection has gone systemic now. I mean, when I had swelling on this side because of the extraction, but what happened was because of the yeast infection, my tongue started swelling up. My salivary glands got really infected, and then the swelling started going on this side of the mouth. In fact, I think you're seeing a little bit of swelling right here on my face, still left over. So yeah, I was taking the Deflucan, and it was helping, and I was getting the diarrhea from the yeast too, and my bowels felt like they were on fire.
Use
And I was
code
thinking,
diarrhea
well,
for
what was so
50%
funny
off
is
at
right
the
after I
Panda
had
Shop.
the tooth pulled, okay, I went to the receptionist and said, oh, I was holding the gauze, and I said, oh, that was a piece of cake. Little did I know what would be coming up over the next 10 days. Oh, the extraction itself was a piece of cake to me, okay? But dealing with the yeast infection has been hell, man. Oh, God. You would think it would be the other way around, that the extraction would be the worst part. But no, it was the yeast infection that I got from the antibiotic treatment. And of course, the yeast went crazy because I had a bunch of raw flesh and blood to eat on this side.
Scratchy snatch down the hatch. Now my tummy needs a patch. Yeah. Yeast, 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 yeast. Scratch, scratch, and scratch, scratch, scratch. Yeast, yeast, scratch, scratch, scratch. Yeast, yeast, yeasty cheese, yeasty cheese.
Oh,
Panda, do not step up
the
to
only
the queen
reason
like that.
I stuck with the 10-day antibiotic treatment is because we're dealing with a 10-year-old infection on this side. This infection has been here since 2013. That's back in 2013, in October 2013, I went to a Florida dentist, okay? Here's what I think happened with that Florida dentist, okay? He put a crown on my tooth about, I think it was about 2011, I believe it was, okay? According to my Alabama dentist, that Florida dentist put the crown on crooked, okay? So what happened is there was a little gap so that everything was going down into the root of that tooth, and that tooth got super infected. So I went to this dentist. What I think happened to that dentist, because I'm puzzled by this, because my men told me that he was a good man, the dentist, and even Jesus said that. So my theory is that
What the fuck?
when the dentist
just
put
your
the crown
daily
on
reminder
my
that Jesus
tooth,
talks
he got
to Gail.
switched out with his Jesuit clone right before the procedure. And the Jesuit clone deliberately put the crown on crooked, okay? So that there was like a slight gap on the bottom of that crown, letting in all sorts of stuff into the root of that tooth. And so that would have been about 2011, okay, when I had that done. When I showed up at that same dentist's office, it was a Florida dentist, in October 2013, he showed me an x-ray and said, you got a huge cavity in the root of this tooth, and we will need to extract this tooth and give you a dental implant. And at that time, I had just lost my job at Walmart, okay? I was about to lose my dental insurance, And I was freaking out. When I came home, Jesus, spoke to my men and said, you do not, he said that dentist showed you a fake x-ray. You only have a mild yeast infection in that tooth. Just leave it alone. And so I thought, he said, I canceled my dental appointment. I didn't go through with the implant or the extraction or all the stuff that he recommended. And I hadn't seen a dentist from 2013 until May 2023 for 10 years. And that tooth kind of went on and off, on and off. And sometimes it would swell up and then sometimes it would go away. And I just assumed it was a yeast infection. And I remember Jesus telling me there's nothing a dentist can do about a yeast infection in that tooth. Personal opinion, I'm not sure about this, but I think Jesus might have done a little divine intervention on that tooth. Yeah. And when he left us in June 2022, he couldn't interfere anymore. Maybe he wasn't able to do any more divine intervention. And Buddha did tell me in October, I think it was 2022, that I do need to see the dentist. So I made an appointment to see the dentist. Okay. One way you can tell is by how much weight you lose. I don't even know if you can tell. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but I've lost about 5 to 8 pounds as a result of what I've been going through the past couple weeks. Yeah, I'm at my dream weight. I can say that much. Okay. But man, it has been. Okay, so I started taking the antibiotic on about the 3rd or 4th day after the extraction because it was just so, I could tell there was an infection there. And I thought I'm never going to heal from this extraction until I get that infection under control. So I got on the antibiotic and I figured within 2 or 3 days the infection would get under control. But within 2 or 3 days, it wasn't under control. Everything was getting inflamed. I had a swollen salivary gland. So I went back to the dentist and they cleaned it all out with antiseptic. And about a week after the extraction. And then I came home and the next day was like, oh, I'm so dizzy. What was happening was, as a result of the antibiotic therapy, I was getting a yeast infection. Okay. So I was dealing with a bacterial infection plus a yeast infection was setting in. So there was a lot of swelling in here. Oh, and then I started getting the symptoms of a systemic yeast infection, feeling, yeah, I don't know how much you guys know about systemic yeast infections, but your abs feel like they're on fire.
What do you know about systemic
diarrhea.
yeast infection, Crash
You
Panda?
get thrush in your mouth. You get
I'm confused. What does Jesus have to do with teeth and yeast infections?
Jesus told her that that dentist she was talking to was a Jesuit clone. Because the Jesuits do be just cloning all of us all the time and replacing us. Totally not a schizo theory, just something that happens.
Oh,
I mean, Lady Red, she hasn't said they have a yeast wand, but she's accused all kinds of other things, so I wouldn't be surprised. They have made a new Kaki, which is a nuke full of Jesuit seamen.
mm. Don't ask me what I'm looking at right now. You don't want to know.
Oh, got it. So pandas on onlycookies.com.
Vaginal itching. You get a thrush sore throat. And not only that, I was getting heartburn symptoms, even feeling nauseated because of it. And I was thinking, oh my God, I don't know if I can take the 10-day course, but this bacterial infection in that area is so stubborn, I have to do it. It was like, I would say the past 3 days on antibiotic. I even joked with my man. I said, this must be what chemotherapy must feel like to some people. You might say, well, it couldn't have been that. I don't think you guys realize how nasty a yeast infection, when it goes systemic, can get. You really feel like, I was so dizzy. I couldn't concentrate. I felt like I had fog brain, okay? The yeast infection. I know back in 2009, I could not do more than 2 days of antibiotics. That's when my yeast was really, really bad. I had the Jesuit super yeast. By the time, if any doctor put me on antibiotics, by the second day, I had to drop it. It's like, I can't take this. I'm feeling sicker than I was with the germ that I needed the antibiotic for. But in this case, I knew I had to stick with the 10-day treatment. Fortunately, I had some days that weren't so bad, but for the 10th day, it was like, oh my God. And then I was making things worse to try to, stand the antibiotics. I was drinking extra kefir because that's like probiotics, right? That was a mistake. The milk sugar in the kefir was actually feeding the germs, okay? And probably slowing down the healing process. And the Gale Shield got a significant drop when I did that. Yeah, so it's possible I might have worsened both the yeast and the bacterial infection and kind of slowed down the healing process because I was drinking extra kefir. I thought it was helping out my situation and making it worse. The good news is my last day of antibiotics was 2 days ago. I am now on Deflucan. The dentist put me on Deflucan. And I'm feeling better. I'm still feeling kind of dizzy, but I'm feeling better. And and all of this was happening while my husband was saving the universe, right? You might say it must have been this. I actually was pretty good. I took that really well. I was very calm about it. I believed what Buddha told me. But on June the 3rd, when I had my dental appointment, I wanted to get that tooth pulled because my husband told me, he is a doctor, he said you do need to get that tooth extracted because you've got a bacterial infection in that tooth, which has gone far enough now that if you don't get that tooth pulled, you're in danger of getting sepsis.
How do you get yeast in your vagina from a tooth? Did she stick a bad tooth of her vagina? Is that what she
Good
did?
God.
Did she stick her teeth up her?
Hey, listen. She knows what she's talking about. She talks to Jesus Christ himself. And Jesus told her that dentist was a Jesuit clone. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yep.
One of your organs could get infected, and he said it could become life-threatening. You could die. So I thought, oh, okay. So I decided to do it. I said, might as well just get this over with. So I'm now on the better end of it, but it was rough. Like I said, this tooth has been acting up since 2013. So I guess it's to be expected that once that tooth gets pulled, that long infection in there, this whole area right around this tooth has been swollen for 2 years at least. I mean, it hasn't gone down. It's just the infection is just was so entrenched. So the tooth just had to be pulled. The good news is it's now out, and I'm finally out of the woods, I think. Yeah, so I wanted to make a video. You might say, I'm going to be writing. At first I thought I was going to write a story about Lizzo and how we defeated her. And I am going to be writing that story, but my next Gale series story is going to be about why Jesus got me started on the Gale commandments. And I'll give you a little bit of my history on why I so easily become obsessed with my diet. And, it's because I've got a history of having a systemic yeast infection. And unfortunately for people like me, when we get a systemic yeast infection, a lot of the traditional medical community is not well versed on how to deal with this, and it can, and when you get some of the symptoms of it, a lot of people treat you like you're a little crazy, because you get some really weird symptoms. I mean, like with this one, I was getting esophageal spasms. I felt like I had fog brain. Okay. Thrush is what you would expect with yeast. Okay. But what you don't expect is the diarrhea, the heartburn, the nausea, the dizziness.
Hey, Michelle, come on. She is being hunted by Jesuits.
The feeling of,
can't you show a little
Oh my God,
understanding?
that face.
Nah, Scorpio, you're not single for life. You're gonna go on a great date with Cassie. It's gonna be great. Sorry about that. Dilford's looking for love.
of just
Are you
being
looking for
like
love,
you're like,
Dilford?
like you feel like you're really, really
No.
sick, and you feel so tired. You have no energy.
Dilford's just like, no.
It's almost like you feel like you got mono or something, and you just don't expect that from a yeast infection, right? Yeah, and that's how I felt. And but apparently, when a yeast infection gets systemic, okay.
Ma'am, this is 18 minutes of us talking about your yeasty vag that you can't keep out of your mouth.
18 minutes of yeast.
Swear to God, if I hear her say yeast one more fucking time.
18 Minutes of Yeast was the title of Clean's origin story.
Can start getting symptoms like that. Yeah. So you should have got off the antibiotic. I couldn't. 10-year infection. See, my attitude was, I said, if you don't lick this germ that's infecting down here, and you don't endure this 10-day course of antibiotics, you might end up having to get back on antibiotics again when it relapses.
Lick the
So
germ.
I was determined
Lick the germ.
to stick it through, but believe me, by the 10th day, oh my God, it was just sheer willpower. I felt like a soldier on the front lines of the battlefield, sticking with that antibiotic therapy. I felt like how a cancer patient must feel when they're going through chemotherapy. It's like, I got to do this or else it'll never be over. I'll have to get back on antibiotics again. I'm telling you, I am not exaggerating when I say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would put the suffering I went through during the extraction procedure at a 1, and the suffering I went through as a result of antibiotic therapy, on a 9. And I'm not exaggerating, okay? I was in labor for 26 hours when I delivered my baby, okay? He was in posterior position and he had to turn. The suffering I went through as a result of getting the yeast.
She gave birth to a giant ball of yeast. His name
Yeah.
is Yeasty McYeasterson.
And his name was Zur.
His name was Zulu. Oh, hey, Converse. We're just talking about yeast.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with Gail Cord Schuler, but prepare to get familiar with Gail Cord Schuler.
Poor Blondie walks in at the worst possible time. Hey, Blondie. I feel like we have corrupted Blondie. Like, Blondie was such an innocent individual before we got a hold of her. And we have corrupted her immensely. But no, I cannot pay for your trauma bills. I cannot even afford my own.
So, just a pre-warning. Serious Pack has decided to take a heroic dose of mushrooms. We'll see where this goes.
Let's go.
Hey. I am not the leader of this spaceship.
Mission control.
I don't know, Converse. You have horses, and those bitches are expensive. I feel like we should all just do the right thing here and just blame Pack and Dilford.
It'd be
I
like
mean, in all fairness, I was the one who was like, you need to look into Gale, but yeah, I forgot how gross Gale can be.
Did Buddha tell her she was Yeasty Jesus? What is Yeasty Jesus?
No, she's not yeasty Jesus. She's yeasty and she speaks to Jesus. Difference.
Yeasty Jesus.
Again, yeasty and speaks to Jesus. Difference.
I think Yeasty Jesus sounds funny.
Oh, come on. You're telling me you don't want me to invite Gale to the harem?
Fuck you. No.
Panda, I will tie you up and you will have no say in it.
I will become a Hulkamania and fucking rip those ropes, brother. Oh yeah. I know you didn't just send me something on Discord, you mischievous little shit.
I didn't.
Oh God, what happened to her? Oh, bless it. Run. Yes, it's all the men's fault. And Gail's yeast problem is Sirius Pack's fault. He gave her a yeast infection. Oh no! I'm so sorry. Kiss that baby for me. That poor horsey. Look at that face. Isn't she beautiful? Maybe it's maybe. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe
Hey,
it's maybe.
hey, I'll have you know that face has, according to her, tagged both Brent Spiner and Gerard Butler and Hugh Jackman. They're all obsessed with her.
Oh God. I don't think that's a face that even a mother could love. Like, was she adopted?
No, again, Brent Spiner and Hugh
Oops, I shouldn't
Jackman
have
and
said that out
Gerard
loud.
Butler.
That was mean, even for me. Oh well.
Infection, which went systemic because of this, the antibiotics I had to be put on for 10 days of torture was almost like the first 13 hours of labor when I was delivering my child. That's how bad it was. The last day when I was laying in bed, the esophageal spasms in my neck were so severe, it felt like, I felt like my trachea was going, like I was thinking, I was thinking, do I need to call the ambulance? Am I going to be able to breathe? My heart, let me tell you, my heart, I felt pressure on my heart. It was like, what was happening? My gallbladder, I kind of went through something like this in 2009. My gallbladder, and I felt pain in my spleen. I mean, it was sharp pain. My gallbladder was hurting. My liver was hurting. And I was thinking, oh my God. Oh. I said, I can't take this antibiotic. You say, what? I don't know. All I know is the yeast infection was apparently starting to affect my organs. My heart muscle, I could feel pressure on my heart muscle. I notice whenever my gallbladder gets really inflamed, which I think was happening. You might say, why would that happen? Well, the gallbladder produces bile, right? Okay. The bile was apparently full of this yeast toxin that I'm allergic to. So the gallbladder was getting inflamed. Whenever my gallbladder gets inflamed, my heart, I actually feel my heart. It feels really heavy. So yeah, I'm telling you, man. Anyways, those symptoms, the next day, when the last day of the 10th day of antibiotic therapy finished, okay? The next day I felt so much better. I thought, oh, I'm going to live. It was awful. You guys, you don't know what it's like to have a systemic yeast infection, okay? I'm still dealing with it, but now I can laugh. I mean, I was laughing. I was managing to keep my sense of humor, but I'm just letting you know. Oh my God. You say, well, see, what happened is I developed an allergy to the yeast toxin because I had a systemic yeast infection for like 20 years. Okay. So now antibiotics are really rough for me. Like most people, if they get a yeast infection, because they're not allergic to the yeast toxin, they're not going to, it won't be as rough on them. They can just, take Deflucan or Nystatin or whatever. And, but for me, I'm dealing with a tremendous amount of inflammation because of allergy, plus the infection from the yeast. So I had a bacterial infection in here, and then it got compounded by a yeast infection in here, lots of swelling. It got so bad the gums were swelling on this side. The good news is I made it through. I'm at the other end. But I just wanted to, I'm going to be kind of sharing some of this in the story I write about the Gale.
This is why you take good care of your kitty cat and don't shove weird shit inside of your fucking vagina.
Hey. The Jesuits did this. Hell, Panda, how do you know you're even talking to the actual Sirius Pack? Maybe you're talking to a clone. Maybe you're talking to a Jesuit clone.
Yeast to the heart, and I don't care. And Kelly is nasty as fuck out there. You give yeast a bad name. Oh, you give yeast a bad name.
Panda, I'm coming. I have the rope ready. Are you sure you want to do this?
You're coming.
I
and
am
you have
coming.
rope ready. That's an interesting turn of phrase. I wrote a banger. She sounds nuts. Sounds nuts. No, she doesn't sound anything. She is nuts. It's all the yeast. Don't you know? All the yeast. It's the yeast's fault. Don't you know nothing? God. God, why don't you know anything? Jesus. The fuck? The fuck, man? I wonder if that's what happened to Biden, if he got a yeast infection in his brain.
I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Wonder
He
if he
got
got
the
it in
yeast.
his booty.
He got the yeast infection from Trump.
I'll be right back. I gotta go get some yeast.
Commandments. I probably made it a little bit worse because I had too much kefir. That milk sugar in the kefir was feeding the yeast. Okay. And they were getting really, really happy. Yeah. So I probably made it worse by drinking way too much kefir. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be sharing some of the lessons I learned. But anyways, it is time for me to make a YouTube video. Yesterday was actually the day, but I just wanted to share that I survived a 10-day course of antibiotics with complications with a pretty nasty yeast infection, which I'm still dealing with. Yeah, it's a miracle that I was able to do the whole 10-day course. Yeah, honest to God, the last 3 days I felt like how a cancer patient must feel when they're on chemotherapy, man. I was that miserable. It was, yeah. I don't know. Most of you out there probably have not had a super yeast infection. Okay. So you may think this is crazy, but yeah. Let me just tell you this much. Vladimir Putin's wife, Larissa, she died because of the super yeast. So and now I'm not saying what I have is a super yeast, but unfortunately, as a result of having had a 20-year yeast infection, I do have an allergy to yeast toxin. So when I get a systemic yeast infection, it affects me pretty strongly. Larissa, this was back in 2000. Vladimir was not in my life at that time, and
Yeah, she's also
they
dating Vladimir
misdiagnosed her
Putin,
with
people.
breast cancer. Okay, this is what a systemic yeast infection can do. The symptoms can be so severe, especially if it's a super yeast, like what she had. She had the same yeast that I had for 20 years. She was getting black heaps on her breast from the yeast, okay? They thought it was cancer. So what did they do? They put her on chemotherapy. Oh my God. That is the absolute worst thing you can do for somebody with an infection, okay? The chemotherapy killed her. Yeah. The infection became so severe. By the time they figured out that it wasn't cancer and that she had a yeast infection, it was too late. They couldn't save her life. She died. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, that's part of the problem with yeast, okay? Because things like the Jesuit super yeast are not well known and well documented as ailments. When somebody gets really sick with them, if the patient is misdiagnosed, it's a death sentence.
What?
Yeah,
If
you didn't know yeast can kill you?
Gail.
Oh, you missed her talking about her man Vladimir Putin while you were gone.
Oh dear fuck me.
Yes, all the men want Gail.
No. So you said all the men, correct?
All the men, apparently.
If I am to believe you and say all the men, that would mean that you want the Gale.
I mean, I would, but I asked her opinions on being tied up, and she wasn't a fan, so I'm just gonna stick with Panda.
No, that's not why. It's because you're afraid. You're afraid she might tickle your fancy hole.
That too.
Tickle your pickle hole.
I am
hole.
definitely afraid of the super yeast.
The super yeast, kinda freaky. Super yeast is kinda freaky. Sorry. I'm really not sorry, but I thought I would say I was. So maybe I wouldn't be in as much trouble. Did it work?
It did not. You're in even more trouble, Panda.
But I said sorry. Super yeast, super freaky. Sing it out loud. Get your #1 single. See, Scorpio believes in me. He's not killing my dreams and crushing my soul with his naysaying.
use the wrong treatment and they'll kill the patient. And because the super yeast, the Jesuit super yeast, now I'm not sure about the yeast that I have. It might have just been regular Candida, but that Jesuit super yeast ate its own poop. So you couldn't kill it by killing it. You had to flush it out of the body without killing the germ. Because if you kill the germ, the explosion from the dead yeast would act as fertilizer to any remaining yeast. And that's why I had the infection for 20 years. Even after I took stuff like nystatin, diflucan, and all the yeast-killing medicine.
So it's a Jesuit yeast. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, she acts like the
I couldn't
Jesuits
tell
out here
you.
being like the fucking Taliban over here. Like,
I couldn't tell you.
I got something I can grow in your spleen, Lady Red.
Pack has returned.
If you stroke it just right, it'll grow that big.
Whoa.
What? Didn't say anything. What'd I do? I'm innocent.
I don't know about that.
Lady Red's fixing to yeet something at me. He's like, I'm done with you, Panda. I am done with you for the day.
Medicines. It always came back. It would never go away. And that's why I ended up becoming a big natural medicine freak and getting real obsessed with diet. So I'm going to be going into that, into the Gail Commandments stories, why Jesus had to do that. This might be helpful to people who have weird illnesses or illnesses that are not well known. See, Jesus had to give me the Gail Commandments because traditional medicine failed me with the super yeast. And nothing they were doing was working. In fact, some of the stuff they were doing was making it worse. One doctor, a urologist, put me on Macrobid, which is an antibiotic. And he lied to me and said it confined itself to the urinary tract. And I was on it for over a year, okay? That was back in 1998. As a result of that, my yeast infection got super duper bad. And I started getting really bad symptoms, very similar to the symptoms that I got as a result of just the 10-day antibiotic. And I was freaking out. I was going to the doctors and they were treating it all wrong. They, and I wasn't really a big natural medicine person until the regular doctors started failing me. Unfortunately, I started doing some stuff that wasn't really good. I was getting into natural medicine, taking all these supplements. I had one point in 2010, I was taking like 20 supplements a day. And that's why Jesus had to give me the Gail Commandments, because I'd given up on traditional medicine because it wasn't working. I'll be going into that. But basically, the Jesuits gave me a yeast infection, which they deliberately kept out of the medical literature. Yeah, the Jesuit super yeast, a genetically engineered super yeast. And I think the reason they did that is because they wanted to kill me with an illness that would make it look like I was crazy. Yeah. like I said, Vladimir Putin's wife died from this. Jesus saved my life with the Seroquel. The Seroquel was the cure to the super yeast. But unfortunately, as a result of having had that infection for like 20 years, I did develop an allergy to yeast toxin, including Candida yeast toxin. So when I get a yeast infection, it's never a picnic. Yeah. Oh, like I just explained to you. Anyways, the good news is I'm on the other end, but I have noticed that people who have not been infected with a systemic, I mean, to be honest with you, we've all had yeast infections like women vaginitis, where you just use some Monistat and it's usually gone in 2 or 3 weeks or 2 weeks maybe. And some of us may have gotten thrush and we get over it. But when you get one that's systemic and you feel dizzy, nauseated, heartburny, diarrhea, brain fog, and you get all these weird symptoms, what often happens if the medical community is not treating it right is you get treated like you're crazy, like you're psychosomatic. And the worst part of it is you start believing it because nobody seems to be able to help you. Yeah, I'm going to be going into that when I write my story. Yeah, and I think I'll be helping a lot of people. Anyways, the good news is I'm feeling better. You say, what about your husband? My husband is great. Okay, he's great. And I love him. He's a great doctor. But I'm going to tell you, though, if you haven't been through a systemic yeast infection, you can really underestimate how uncomfortable it makes the patient.
Do you underestimate how uncomfortable you're making everyone else? Now we have to... The fuck is this? Herx. What the fuck is this?
Okay, I owe you guys a YouTube video. I have been dealing with, I think they call the yeast die-off reaction or the Herxheimer reaction. And sometimes, I am also allergic to yeast toxin, so I got to keep the water down. Yesterday, I was so excited because, I'm trying to be better about doing the Gale commandment about a balanced diet, okay? Because I feel that one of the reasons my infection got so bad was because I was eating like 6 popsicles a day. Well, back in May 2023, my allergies were acting up and I got an allergic sore throat. It was making me cough at night and keeping me up. So my husband, Brent, who is a doctor, told me to take Zyrtec and make sure you take it at the same time every day. But he said, in the meanwhile, get some fruit popsicles and suck on them for your sore throat. Well, what I ended up doing was I became addicted to the fruit popsicles and even started, thinking, I'm getting a lot of good, healthy vitamin C from this, so I can go to town on that. And I think what I ended up doing is I probably have a cavity now on that rear tooth. I'm just about done with my Deflucan. It was a 1-2 dose. Like you take 1 dose, it lasts for a week. You take your second dose, it lasts for a week. So my second dose is due to run out on Wednesday. I've got a lot of swelling going on through my entire body, and right now there's some inflammation around the site of the extraction, which I was a little concerned about. So I had but it's not really painful. It's a little sensitive. Sometimes I have conversations with my doctor husband on the bed because he likes to hump on me. So I said, is it true what I heard brain to brain that you put some medicine in my ginger turmeric tea. You might say I tried chamomile tea, which is what I normally have for meditation. But for some odd reason, after antibiotic therapy, the chamomile tea seems to irritate my mouth area. I don't know why. It could be so I decided to try a different tea well, yesterday I was working on my recipes, okay? And I'm going to have links to them as part of my goal to have a more balanced diet. No 6 popsicles. I've kind of eliminated my chocolate for right now too. I'm kind of really cutting back on the sugars because I think I may end up with a dental bridge, and I'm trying to improve my eating habits so that I don't mess up the bridge, you know? Yeah. Unfortunately, yesterday, I didn't have my breakfast till like 3 in the afternoon. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I was, starting to feel good. And even though I was drinking water.
Like, does she ever talk about anything that's not her yeast?
Sometimes.
What the fuck is this?
This is Gary. Okay. 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 This is Lizzo Jesuits here at this site. They're acting really strange. I just had my tooth pulled. And I got Lizzo Jesuits here at this bus stop. I don't need to tell you. I said I don't need to tell you. What do you do? Are you friends with her? I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you
All right. This is Gabriel Todd, Fox News. This Lizzo Jesuit says he's going to call the police because I'm filming him. Yeah, that's crazy. Huh?
No one's trying to kill you.
I didn't say anyone was trying to kill me.
What's your name?
I'm no.
Are you a police officer?
No.
Yeah, there's a lady over here.
Yeah.
That's backstage.
I'm not allowed to take a picture. What? So what? What's wrong with that? Why can't I use a body cam? That lady was behaving really strange.
Hey, Panda.
What the fuck was that about?
I don't know. By the way, Pac is backstage.
He came in my back door again.
Yeah, well.
I'm always
He always
coming in
leaves
Panda's back door.
back
Panda is a big.
X-rated.
Yeah, I was about to say, Panda, a big fan of people coming in her back door.
She had yeast infection for 10 years, but he's a great doctor. Sign me up. Right, Lady Red? I don't know that I would say it's so much psycho that it is stupid. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Everybody say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. Also, there's I'm so high and I just might talk to check you out. Let me go on. Let me go with the in the sun. Let me go on.
Man, every time I hear that song, I think of Draven.
The guy and I just might talk to check you out. Why?
Because the voice, it kind of sounds like his.
If you could see the side eye I'm giving you right now.
Hey, give me all the side eye you want. Know that it will not save you from my writing crop.
I'm fixing to yeet something at you. Am I allowed to use the horny stick on you?
No.
I'll get beated. How's that fair?
It is a one-side horny stick.
No. I should be able to whop you and Dilford with it. Wait a minute, that sounded bad. Yeah, there's no saving that one.
There is no saving that one.
What is a Jesuit? Can somebody explain to me what the fuck that even means? Oh, Big Hands, you know you want. Thank
they're
you,
a
Lady Red. She understands me.
the Jesuits are a denomination of Christianity.
Right, Lady Red? I'm sorry, I gave you an earworm. Really not sorry, but it's polite to say so anyway. I'm not understanding. Maybe explain it differently, because
I haven't bothered to do a lot of research into the Jesuits, so I really can't. They're another denomination of Christianity.
but she believes in Jesus.
Yes, but
So
apparently
what's
they're not the right denomination of Jesus, so they're evil.
Is that kind of like the beef between Catholics and Baptists? Something like that.
Maybe.
Because Baptists believe Catholics are going to hell, and Catholics believe Baptists are going to hell. They believe in the same God, but
Yeah, pretty much. Like, hey, you don't believe in my version of Christianity, so you're evil. That's Gail's thought process.
Why can't I use body cam? It's not illegal to record. It's private.
Can you sit down? Are you okay? Because we're riding the bus and I got a bus pass.
Boy, this is some way to treat somebody who just had their tooth pulled, I tell you.
I don't want her to come sit down.
I just had my tooth pulled and you guys are treating me like
I
this.
just had a miscarriage.
All right, yeah. I tell you, Lizzo Jesuits are acting really strange at this bus stop. It's like I can't go home in peace. I just had my tooth pulled and they're acting really aggressive and strange. Yeah. This guy says he's going to call the police on me because I'm filming him. Can you imagine that? He's going to call the police on me because I'm filming him. Ha. Yep. Anyways, I think I'm done filming for now. Now they're smoking. I'm hoping their tobacco doesn't have mites in it. Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, let's just hope that, I'm hoping their tobacco doesn't have Lizzo Jesuit mites in it. This is for Gabriel Todd, Fox News. Yep. I never knew it was against the law to use a camera. Wasn't why that's what he called the police for, because I filmed him. It's a private film. So what's the big deal? It's for,
I mean, it's not illegal. It's kind of weird. I wouldn't put it in people's faces.
yeah, but see, there was a lady here screaming and acting really weird. And so I just filmed her, that's all. And then he got all hyped up about it.
Okay, because you start pointing at me.
Yeah, it's a private film, okay? So you need to calm down.
Well, you are filming him, so I mean, he does kind of have a valid, like, hey, why are you filming me, kind of thing.
Okay, well, it's a private film.
But hold on, but they are public property, and if she made a TV show or something, then you have to make sign contracts or whatever. That's a different thing. But if it's private, I'm not saying this is weird, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't feel comfortable in the same position. But since it is public property, and you're on the sidewalk, you see the bus stop, she's not doing anything illegal. So I would just go to the other bus stop or just walk away and not deal with it. Well, I understand, like I'm saying, I would take it to that one. Alright, well, your options pretty much sit here and let her go.
There was just this lady here screaming and acting strange, and I wanted to get her on camera. I wasn't. I was filming her. And then he started threatening me, so yeah, he was threatening me. I mean, I just got my tooth pulled. Yes, yeah, I'm waiting on the bus. I want to wait on the bus in peace. I don't need somebody screaming here.
Sitting here minding his own business.
Okay, I'll turn the camera off. I can't believe that Lizzo Jesuit called the police on me because I was filming him. Good grief. I bet they're going to be in trouble. Yeah, I want to get home and get on Advil before the anesthetic wears off. I'm not going to let those Lizzo Jesuits stop me from getting home on time. So, yeah, I found them. No, it'll be a private video. That police officer that showed up, I'm not sure what to make of him. Yeah, he might have been okay. Anyways, I will,
Like, who acts like that in public, for one? But, I mean, obviously her, but. Why?
I couldn't tell you.
You could. Did you just say you could kill me? Why?
I said I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
What the fuck?
June 9th, 2024. Dearest Gail, Prepare for a big one. I've got so much to tell you. I'm so excited to explain what all has transpired in the past 24 hours, but I'll try not to get ahead of myself. Of course, it all started in the $25 tier Patron training deck on Church of Gale. $25 tier patrons Brad, Rogel-Dorn, and Akasha were all seated at the meeting table in front of our large view screen. Gentlemen, I greeted them. As you are all aware, we've discovered where Lizzo has been hiding. A graphic came up on the screen displaying a multi-layered elaborate tunnel network. This is a tunnel system beneath New York City. It's deep, very deep, much more complex than the general public is currently aware. As it would appear, the whole thing is infested with mites. The graphic zoomed in, indicating the mite count population using a meticulously organized series of numbers and colors.
Ew. Apparently, this lady hates Lizzo something awful. But it's fucking hilarious to me.
Yes.
Be right back. I gotta go to the ladies' room.
Mite levels get heavier the further down this tunnel system goes. At the bottom of the tunnel system, the graphic zoomed in on a giant pink blob. It is Lizzo. Gross, Akasha said. How do you think she's been surviving down there? Wouldn't she be infected with mites? We don't know. Unfortunately, this map only shows the basic gist of the tunnel system itself. We won't know exactly what's down there until we go in ourselves. I'll have this map to guide us, but it's up to all of you to bring the cajones. This sounds dangerous, Brad deduced. Yes, it is. That's why you have all been trained on these. I picked up one of the weapons to use as demonstration. Certified Universal Mite Extermination Rockets, I proclaimed. Comers, for short. These big guys will be warmed up and ready to blast anything that edges close. I pulled the shaft of the gun back and kissed the tip. Are there any questions? Akasha raised her hand. Yes, Akasha. Can we call them cum launchers? Well, considering we could die literally any second now, we can call them whatever you want. Yes, she hissed excitedly, pumping a fist. Cum launchers or not, I think you all understand how dangerous this mission is. I won't hold it against anyone who wants to back out now. No way I'm letting this universe get erased without a fight, Rogel-Dorn determined. I'm in. The other two $25 tier patrons agreed. This job isn't one for the weak, Brad said. I'm in. I read the disclaimer for the $25 tier membership on Gale's Patreon. I know what I signed up for, said Akasha. I'm in. She's in, Brad nodded. Good, I said. Now, I think it would be a good time for you all to call your significant others and get their blessings. Make sure to say your I love yous now. The group dispersed to make final calls to their loved ones. I took a moment to Skype my precious wife and say my prayers to God and Jesus. Brad was on the phone with his girlfriend. Hey, Amber, yeah, I need to save the world again. We could all die. There was a pause as Amber replied to him from the other end. Yeah, of course. I'll try to be home on time for dinner. Across the room, Rogel-Dorn was calling his wife. Kiss my lizards and stuff for me, just in case I don't come back. He paused to listen, then sighed. Yes, I already took out the trash. Akasha was on the phone with her partner, too. Yeah, so I need to do this $25 tier Patron mission for Gale again, and I don't know what's going to happen to me. She went quiet to listen to her partner before speaking again. What do you mean? I like getting raped? Well, sure, but I mean... I might get raped too hard this time. After I finished my prayers and sent off a message to you on Skype, I sat quietly to myself and just thought about how much I love you. This is all for you, Gail, I said to myself quietly. This is all for you. It was time for us to get to work. The world wasn't going to save itself. The $25 tier patrons and I arrived in New York City. It was nighttime, and we were all standing next to a covered manhole. In order to protect ourselves from interdimensional mites, we had to be suited up in special hazmat spandex. We also wore SWAT gear for added protection against any other hazards we might encounter down there. Each one of us held a ready-to-fire cum launcher, and I had an extra one on my back just in case. A Jesuit on a bicycle rode by, ringing the bell on the handlebars. "Faggots," he called distantly as he flew past. "You're welcome," Rogel Dorn mumbled. "How about thanks for not letting our universe get destroyed?" "Don't worry. We'll work on getting rid of the Jesuits too after this is all over with," I assured. "Hey, the Jesuits seem like such a small problem now compared to all of this," Brad remarked. I uncovered the manhole and we climbed down inside. Once each of us made it safely down, I replaced the cover up top, sealing us in darkness. "She's in," I said. "Now we just need to follow this map." I pulled out my iPad, which contained the digital map of the underground tunnel system. The patrons whipped out their flashlights as we began making our way through the sewer system. Drops of water tickled rhythmically down from the ceiling, while our shoes cracked wetly across the lightly flooded floor. Every tiny sound echoed all around us. Our surroundings were so dark, so isolated, and so empty, it seemed instinctual to just remain quiet. I had to admit, even armed with our weapons, this place was very creepy. I think we were all starting to feel it. My ears pricked as I heard a strange, faint sound coming from the darkness. It sounded like friction, as if someone were vigorously rubbing their hands together. I listened closely and looked around at my team, trying to figure out if the sound was coming from any of them. "Do you hear that?" Akasha whispered. That's when I realized it wasn't any of us. "I heard it too," Rogel Dorn replied. The group grew quiet, each of us straining to listen closely. "Kek, kek, 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 kek." "What was that?" Brad whispered. Our walking slowed, flashlights shining all around us as we searched for the source of the sound. The sound of hands rubbing together grew louder. Now it seemed to be coming from all over. Then we heard another one of those strange laughs. Kek, 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 kek. Just then, a blurry figure shot past Brad, causing him to jump and whirl around. "Whoa, did anyone see that?" he asked nervously, his heart pounding so hard that even I could practically hear it. More hand rubbing ensued, followed by a kek, kek, kek. "Wait a minute. I know what this is," I said. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a gold coin. I tossed it ahead of us down the tunnel, aiming for a spot at the end where the tunnel broke off into two opposite directions. The gold coin landed on the floor with a chink, then rolled toward the end of the tunnel and landed on its side, the metallic sound echoing delicately throughout. All of a sudden, hordes of human-sized figures came pouring in from both tunnels, piling on top of each other like rats as they all scrambled to seize the gold coin. We pointed our flashlights at them, illuminating the situation. "Jews!" Akasha screamed. The Jews responded to the white light of the flashlights with hissing and shrieking, baring their blackened teeth as their gold eye shine glittered back at us.
It was the
They all
Jews.
scattered back from the light
It was the
back
Jews.
into the tunnels. Oh, God, Brad panted, as if he were about to have a panic attack. "Keep it together, guys," I assured them. "We need to get through this level." "How far down the tunnels do the Jews go?" Rogel Dorn asked. I don't know, I replied. This is only the surface. The group trudged forward cautiously.
Ma'am, are you bastardizing my 40K? Why is she talking about our beloved Rogaldorn?
Oh no! Did you hear though? Apparently, it's the Jews. And apparently, you can lure the Jews out by rolling a gold coin down the street.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my fucking my chat. It's not sorry, I'm having technical issues. It's not acting right. This lady, we're gonna have to cover this lady. I'm sorry, but like, this is insane. I wonder if I'd have gotten in trouble for playing that video by the banana.
I mean, which would you prefer to do? Gale, or do a Queen of Karma Part 5 with Sirius Pat?
Hear the truth, like I did.
I don't know.
You've been lied to, Mike.
Oh.
There's one source of real news, and it's delivered by my church goddess, along with data. Her name's Gail. Are you ready for the truth, Mikey?
No.
You're not.
Banana Bear Show.
Hey, Mikey.
Yeah.
So, so on our documentation of the Holocaust,
yeah,
I came across a new one. Not new. She's been around for like 10 years.
Right.
She is almost as old as I am on this platform.
Wow.
Yeah. I only beat her by a year. But
just because she couldn't find it yet.
Her name's Gail Schroeder, and she is the leader of her church. And she knows how the world really works, Mikey. We don't know that. Fake news, right?
Yeah, everything's fake. Everything, only she knows.
Like meat's not real anymore. It's just bees and fake stuff. It's Impossible Burgers.
Right.
You know, we don't own anything anymore. And you know what? Government's reading your mind. But that's nothing compared to the fake news about other countries. Like, Mikey, do you remember the Queen of England?
Yes.
You know? Oh, Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
She was around for a long fucking time.
Yeah, and she died recently.
Yeah,
Or
less than a
Queen.
year. Okay. The Irish part of me is like saying "fuck you," no, but you know, with all the like the weird shit that like people hated the Queen about,
yeah,
technically, it's like okay, if she's a part of Illuminati shit,
yeah.
I mean, you know, you're being enlightened right now, Mikey.
That's what it feels like.
Well, it is time. It really is time to talk about Gail. I don't think we need an introduction. Let's talk about Gail Cord Schuler. For 2,000 words. So we're just going to read the mini one at the moment. Take it away, voiceover me. Gail Cord Schuler was born in 1957 to a fashion model mother from Japan, descended from the royal Osha Fujiwara family, and an Eastern Airlines pilot father, whose uncle was aviator Howard Hughes. At age 3, her parents divorced, and she was raised by a single mother in Miami, Florida. She graduated from Miami Palmetto Senior High in 1975, where Miss Universe Sylvia Hitchcock had attended. Though her family pleaded with her to go to the Air Force officers training, she turned down her acceptance and ended up graduating from Baptist University of America in 1983 with a degree in humanities, missions, and education. She surrendered to be a missionary while studying at Baptist University of America. She dreamed of a soulmate and decided to have an imaginary one who would certainly not threaten her marriage, and after watching Brent Spiner portray Data in Star Trek The Next Generation episode Pen Pals in 1989, she felt she found a vast person who could match the vastness inside her that screamed for existence. She opened her mind and heart as a friend to her pen pal Brent Spiner, feeling this would be a safe way for her to have an imaginary soulmate, knowing for certain that Brent would never have a romantic interest in her, and hoping for some type of pen friendship, safe and long distance. She began to have troubles with the state of Florida HRS in 1990 over an accident she had with her son, and wrote Brent about this. She noticed the Star Trek Next Generation episode The Drumheads seemed to tell her story about persecution from a government agency over a mistake. Brent had written a letter to Gail thanking her for sharing her thoughts, and Gail responded with a tape of her singing and piano playing. Her consuming passion for Brent Spiner led to him obtaining a restraining order against her. While married, she lived in Portland, Oregon.
What?
Yes.
Restraining
Yeah.
order.
Yes.
Yeah, she got
Brent Spiner has a
restraining
restraining order
order.
against her.
The fuck did she do?
She stalked and wouldn't leave alone Brett Spiner.
Define stalk.
Messaged him a bunch, wouldn't leave him alone, constantly told him that Lori McBride was a Jesuit clone and that she was his actual wife.
Wow.
Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Miami, Florida, Seattle, Washington, Houston, Texas, North Charleston, South Carolina, and then in Seattle, Washington. when she divorced her husband in 2001. When Gail got the internet in 2011 and learned how to publish her own books, she got back into writing. She has published several books, has a book in progress, and also narrates her own audiobooks. IMDb Mini Biography by Gail Cord Schuler. Now, a lot of that actually seems fairly lucid. As Gail said in her biography, she first gained access to the internet in 2011. After gaining access to the internet, she released this video. In this video, Gail gives kind of a rambling description of her apartment, very typical of other schizophrenics. In fact, this specific video reminds me particularly of John Buller. In the description, she writes, "The Jesuits are the villains in my new novel, Silver Skies. Silver Skies now available at Amazon.com as a Kindle book for $8.99 US. The forbidden movie version of Silver Skies stars Matthew McConaughey as the Silver Skies lead character, Don Ben Hurabak, and Dor leaves is Brett Spiner's hometown, Maryland, Texas, because I wrote Silver Skies for Brett. 1994 to 1996, Gabrielle Channer, Gail Cord from her apartment, excuse the resolution. I'll think I'll get better with practice. Order Gail's writings here, and then link to her blog.
New Logitech Webcam Pro 9000, and my name is Gail Cord Schuler, and this is my apartment where I live. It's a mess, so I've decided to. But this background is actually more interesting than me sitting on my bed. So I'm having fun with this YouTube video here. This is my book, Silver Skies, that I wrote. I was going to read from it, but I changed my mind. I just think it's boring, and I'm not going to read. I'm just going to introduce myself. I'm the author of my website, GabrielleChana.com. This back here, this exercise machine is what I work out on, but I don't do it as often as I should. This is, today's date is, January the 21st, 2011. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this Logitech Webcam Pro 9000. At first I thought I wouldn't show this place because my apartment's such a mess, but this is where I live. And I'm not sure I can figure out how to download this to YouTube. It's when I go on YouTube, it's saying it doesn't recognize my that somebody has my email already. I don't know how that happened. So I'm trying to just get on YouTube, and I can't go past 10 minutes because if I go past 10 minutes, then I'm going to be past my account. But you know, I have pictures of me, still photos of me on my website, but nothing real. So I'm really excited that the men in my life will get to see me as I really am. I might walk around a bit.
He had 5-game stellar play and bad reviews because it's female.
So this is my little exercise machine here. And believe me, my place is a mess, but sometimes I'll get on here and work out. You know, this is what I wore at Walmart today. My outfit. Like I said, my place is a mess. I'm not the best housekeeper in the world. But this is my little machine here. My computer's right there. And I have 2 computers. I've got that one there, and I've got that one there. I'm going to get off. So
there is a lot that was
I've worn my voice out, experimenting with different things to do with this. Right now, I think I'm just going to introduce myself.
Right up on top of
and
the opposition.
That's it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the YouTube. So, I love this. The resolution on this is awesome. It does a nice job making videos. I really like this Logitech.
From my perspective, as somebody had nothing to do with
I was going to read, but reading is really boring. So I'm just going to introduce myself. And I had a very busy day at Walmart today. It was crazy. I've noticed it's really crazy in there since I've made my website. And my website looks like I spent $100,000 on it, but I didn't. I just have worked really hard on it. And I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do that.
Journalists and critics to make sure their games are shown in a better light. So much money's riding on the line. To
I
begin
am
with.
in bed
I
with a
think that
haircut. I can't
Timbergate
afford
was
one
something
right
that actually did a solid service
now.
to
I'm
the
on a
players.
very
Because
tight
they
budget.
woke up to that realization. They're a little bit more
I'd like to
cautious with
talk
their
to
spending.
you
They don't
about
take review scores and take salary.
Are you loving your Gale time yet?
Trailer. They want to see gameplay.
Is she your favorite Panda?
I don't know how to answer that. She's something.
Prove that these sides that are so
Let's go look at her channel.
They have the exact same flair. They both sound the exact same when you start paying attention to them from a much wider range.
Let me just tell you, Jesus Christ, the Eternal Bridegroom is a banger. If you have a chance, buy that.
What ends up happening is the voice in the middle where the truth ends up wrong. There are issues that are in the games industry today that she's glossing over. It brings up some of the games that are out there.
This is a call for several days. Fortunately, I caught on to him just in time. And now, if Earth goes out, I want to go out.
Somebody's playing TV in the background and it's playing over the content.
Wild folks that are out there. No, there's
Okay then.
Out in style. Let's all have a good laugh as we're being exterminated. Perhaps we will be reincarnated into another form and into another universe, so it isn't all lost, eh? Baphomet makes a bow to Satan, as Satan offers him the Nobel Prize in universe destruction. As Satan congratulates Baphomet for working with the god of pestilence and disease, Shakpona, to assist in rapid dissemination of interdimensional mites, the bedbugs of the multiverse. Oh, don't forget Antichrist Lizzo. She helped. Her brilliant mite tobacco, chemtrails, and bombs filled with mites. Don't forget Lizzo.
She really hates Lizzo.
Baphomet. Satan says to the goat.
What the fuck is her problem with Lizzo? Fucking hiccups.
She is both fat and black, which is like a double negative in Gale's world.
Well, Gale is yeasty and disgusting, so that's a double negative in anybody's world.
Demon Baphomet while observing Gale. Gale is following your suggestions brilliantly. I've never had such an erection in my life. Perhaps I'll become bisexual and tone down my gay lisp. I plan to land on her bed when the Gale shield goes to 0 and offer myself to her like a gentleman. Of course, Satan. Baphomet giggled, smoking his joint filled with interdimensional mites. I'll do honors to all involved in this masterpiece. Maybe Jesus will kill himself when this is all over. Then all of you will get the Nobel Prize in Universe.
What the fuck? How is she
Enjoying
not
yourself,
committed?
Panda?
And I've got to say, Satan has some great tits. Just saying. Yeah, I just said that out loud. Don't judge me.
You heard it here, folks. Panda is all about them Satan titties.
Well, tell me he doesn't have a great set of tits. I mean, tell me that. Say he doesn't have a great set of tits. I'll wait.
Got me there.
Excuse me, multiverse distraction. He, Satan, Chakpona, and their crew plan to evacuate this universe, cleanse themselves of all the mites, and live in another universe right before God took it all out. And of course, Jesus would get all the blame for disastrous management. Actually, the threat to Earth is real, and we all should be listening to Brent, who is my courageous and wonderful husband. But I just love a good laugh. I'm a comedian to the end. Baphomet wants us to believe that as far as Antichrist Lizzo, who is mysteriously missing in action, we don't even think she's in our universe. She knew the interdimensional mite infection in the universe would happen. In fact, she's the reason it has happened. Baphomet wants us to believe that she and Satan and the evil African god of pestilence and disease, Shakpona, planned this in advance. The transgender retard Baphomet wants us to believe she's basically deserted all her dumb retard followers, that she's a totally selfish leader, and anyone who follows her is insane. It goes without saying, Baphomet wants us to note, that those we save need to be completely cured of their mite infections, and we may need to put them under intense treatment. Anyone who brings in anything with mites and does so willingly and knowingly will be exterminated on the spot. Yes, on the spot, so we can be as evil as Satan. Now Baphomet explains to us, this is why Jesus planned to rule in the millennium with a rod of iron in the canceled Bible. Basically, Baphomet explains to us that in the canceled Bible, it said Jesus was a benevolent dictator, actually a tyrant. That's what you need if you have any sinners roaming around who might start mite infections and such. According to theologians, Baphomet explains with calm, murderous composure that in the millennial reign, if anyone crossed Jesus, he just zapped them out. That's how you have to do it. You can't put up with this shit. Never. You gotta be as evil as Satan. You gotta be as mad as hell and full of sinful anger, Baphomet explains, laughing his head off at the stupidity of humanity. These mites are not just cute little buggies that make you itch. They are the abomination plague from hell. Anyone who has a willing and knowing flippant attitude about mite contamination needs to be executed on the spot. Like if anyone is caught smoking willingly and knowingly with mite tobacco, we execute on the spot the smoker along with all willing and knowing manufacturers of the stinking mite tobacco. Any jets that drop bombs or chemtrails filled
Maybe
with
I
mites,
like mite
and if the jet is
tobacco.
filled with Lizzo Jesuits, destroy the jet at
But Gail,
once.
maybe
We
I
will rule
like
with
mite
a rod
tobacco.
of iron. Looks like we start the millennium.
Have you had that mite tobacco? It's pretty tasty.
Reign with Brent Spiner as Dictator King. Yeah, Dictator King. You get it. Emphasize.
Dictator. I cannot take any more insanity. I am done with this today. With the yeast and the mites and the
It'd be like
Lizzo.
But Panda, Lizzo is evil. Didn't you know?
No. Ignorant, maybe?
She
Well,
is both fat and black, which Gail cannot stand.
Yep.
Seems a bit racist.
It'd be like that.
I blame both of you for this.
It'd be like that.
Oh, come on. You love the universe of lolcows that have opened up to you since you've met me in Delford.
True.
Be far worse.
Like and subscribe, tubes.
Like and subscribe to for fresh fuckery every day. All right, you two. I have been traumatized enough today, but we do need to talk about that Queen of Karma stream.
Oh, okay then.
But we're gonna do a deep dive on Gail because I'm bored with Lisa. I can't with her. She's just I'm bored.
Fair enough.
But anyway, love you guys. I'm going home.
Catch you guys later.
Bye, Harem.
Have a good one.